Hey, this is Chris Jericho, and you're
Revolution.
listening to Awesome Pod, the only wrestling pod that I listen to.
It's Thursday, and you know what that means. It's Awesome Pod. It's Darcy the Mail Girl, Shorty Taylor, and Brendan Patrizo. Explain Dynamite and Rampage, we are here.
And Mistress Harley.
I have woo energy too.
You do not.
I do. I just
Oh
told
my
Darcy.
God.
You guys, I just told Darcy I have woo energy. I do. It's made of
And
dragon
I am
blood.
shook. Oh my God, how is it?
Okay, I have the dragon fruit flavor, the strawberry banana flavor, and the sparkling lemon flavor. And I have been waiting. I've been waiting to try these with you, the people of wrestling.
Oh my God.
I'm afraid I'm gonna
And we
break a
aren't
nail.
on video this time. That's nuts.
I know, but listen to it. Can you hear it? Oh my God!
Ooh, that's
Too much
ASMR
energy.
shit.
I can confirm it's maybe it's got the blood of Taz in there, or it tastes like sugar. It's like a lot of sugar.
Oh, is it sugar based?
I mean, is it? I don't know.
I don't know. I assumed it was like sugar free, but I don't know why I would assume that.
No, it has 6 grams, which is 12% of your daily value of
6 isn't
sugar.
too bad.
No, I mean, chemically, sugar is energy. It is. So now that we've started the show
Anyway.
that way, welcome to the Awesome Pod. We have been getting
Yay.
high on woo, Ric Flair energy, and of course AEW-Revolution.
Yay.
Yay! I'm here with my best, prettiest co-host, Diana Prince, aka Darcy the Mail Girl.
Somewhere Brendan's crying.
Oh, Brendan and Johnny are both crying because I've got them locked in the basement. I let them watch the pay-per-view, but I'm not even going to let them talk about it.
Yeah, who cares what they think?
No, boys, all they do is talk about wrestling all day long. You want to listen to a boy talk about wrestling? Oh my God, just go to a show. But no, here, we're not like other podcasts. We have beautiful women, busty, Sting-covered beautiful women talking about wrestling. And Diana Prince, you were there.
I was. It was amazing.
It looked intense. Like the crowd looked intense.
It was insanity. Like it felt like, I can't say for sure the biggest. It felt like it was definitely one of the biggest pay-per-view like events that you could go to. I know they weren't even allowing people to give out like comp tickets. It was sold out. It was nuts. Like people wanted to be there for Sting's retirement. For sure.
It looked hella sold out all the way to the rafters.
It
Okay.
was nuts. And it took hours for people that got there on time, like loser.
Ah, that's why you gotta wait. That's why you gotta wait to hear a Wild Thing. That's how you know you've got 10 minutes to get to your seat.
No, but like people that went there for like all the pre-show and stuff like that, like I heard it took hours for them to get in.
Wow, I'm not
Yeah.
surprised. But Diana, immerse me in the experience. What did it smell like?
It smelled nice, actually.
Okay.
People were I feel like people put on their best for the pay-per-views. Like everyone was dressed really nice, at least where I was and as far as I could see. And there were a ton of Stings. I really wanted to run around and like get pictures with all my fellow Stings.
Yes, an ocean.
Yes, the very first people I ran into, like when I got dropped off from Uber and was really confused about where to go, was a gang of Stings from like all his periods. Like they all represented a different time of Sting. And we walked together to figure it out. And one of them knew me immediately as Darcy in the dark with my Sting makeup on. And I'm like, how?
You're really recognizable, girl. I don't know if you know this, but you are tall and beautiful, and your cleavage is famous and always has a message. And
I mean, maybe it was a message, which was appropriately "Thank you, Sting" this time.
yes. And can I just say, like, heart feels all of an army of Stings from all the different time periods. Like, you guys all got back to the futured, and now you're here together. And
It was
even,
it was
like,
so sweet. Like that was before I even walked in. I'm like, I am so glad I made the trip for this because it was just such an amazing feeling. And everybody was there. Everyone was so excited. Everyone was so into just thanking Sting, and like the whole rest of the show was amazing too. But you can't like that's obviously the highlight.
no, it was the highlight. Of
Yes,
course it was the
of
highlight.
course.
And I saw an awesome, like, field of cosplay all night. The fans were obviously there for it. They put in effort. They
They
showered, they did their hair,
did.
they had special outfits and makeup.
Oh my God, my favorite people that I saw, and I really wanted to get to them, but they were sitting across the ring, and there was just no way. But they were dressed and ready to rumble cosplay. That was like spot the fuck on.
Oh, I saw those guys. I saw
They
those
were
guys.
amazing. The very first WWE show, well, not the first one I went to after Ready to Rumble, I kept holding a sign that said Gordy pointing down. Like no one knew
Nice.
what the fuck I was talking about, but I knew. I'm
Oh,
like, it's a Ready to Rumble reference, and I've never seen anyone else do it. So like, they are my fucking heroes for doing that.
yes. Shout out to all the incredible cosplayers, but the Ready to Rumble guys. Yes.
Yes,
Everybody brought it to the show, and I
they
love that
really
you were
did.
there. You were on
Me
the
too.
ground.
Yeah, and I sat right the whole front row ahead of me was Sting's family, like all of it. Like his
Oh,
kids, like they came out at the end dressed as him too. But their one of their wives was there with their tiny little baby. I'm like, oh my God, this seems awful because like glass is breaking around them and stuff. But
that
you know,
baby has been baptized in the glass and blood of wrestlers. It's going to have a
yes.
great life.
And it felt so awkward because I didn't know who everybody was, but he was going around hugging every single one of them at the end, and I'm there with my boobs out, like "Thank you, Sting," and like clearly quite obvious, like thumbs up.
There was definitely one show. We were both at this show. You were on one side, and then I was seated behind, I think it ended up being guests or family of Chris Jericho, because he ended up hugging them and leading them away. And I felt the same way, where I was like, oh, I was dressed like a hoe. And those people clearly are friends. So whoopsie daisy. I
I
wouldn't say
know.
anything too horrible. Because, like you said, there were kids, there were children. But I was trying to get them in the spirit of wrestling, you know? Like, at Christmas, you sing carols, and at wrestling, you chant stuff like asshole,
Oh, I
asshole,
know.
you know.
I've definitely ruined some kids at my events because I'm like, I gotta do what I gotta do. Cover your ears if you're offended.
Ruined or created a pivotal moment in their young and burgeoning adolescence.
To be determined. We'll see how it
That's
goes.
right. TBD. Okay, I guess we should get into the wrestling
Yes, we should.
because it was so exciting. We could just talk about little bits and pieces forever.
We
But
should probably mention that we had planned to cover Collision, but it just got kind of usurped by the
yeah,
pay-per-view.
I'm gonna
Not that
pretend I work for the government, like mistakes were made.
it was a really great Collision though. It got me super hyped. Like Dynamite was amazing. Collision, which they actually recorded the same night, was amazing. So if you want to go back and see some of the lead up to the pay-per-view, you won't be sorry. It was really good. But if you want to jump ahead to the result, here we are. We're at
Yeah, I
pay-per-view
feel
now.
like treat it like a two-parter, like a season finale almost. Watch both episodes. They go together. One leads into the other. It will help you follow the story. But for those of us who are watching in real time, it was all so exciting. And by the time we were starting to talk about one thing, another thing was happening, and then the
Yeah.
pay-per-view was happening. And so one of us is humble, radio hosts, we were going to get to it, we swear. But we're getting to it now. The important people, the ladies, are here to talk about the wrestling.
Well, let's
Yo-
break it down, man. What do you
yeah,
got?
break it down. All right, they started out so strong with a 12-man tag team match. The Bang Bang Scissor Gang, acclaimed Daddy Ass,
Oh, wow. You're
ROH
starting from like
six-man.
0 hour, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I watched it. You didn't watch it?
I did not. I did not get there until like 8 p.m.
Okay, I admit, you guys, I watch all the pre-shows, I watch all the 0 hours, I watch all the dark matches because to me, it's like the extended director's cut. It's like if you want to watch 5 hours of Lord of the Rings, I respect you and your love of orcs or whatever, but this is my Lord of the Rings and it happens like all the time and it's awesome.
I love that. It's just such a different way of doing it. And some people do like want to be there for all of it. I am of the mind that I'm like, I'm already going to be there for like 4+ hours and I want my energy to stay up. So I get there right before the main show starts,
You
usually
know
for
what?
pay-per-view night.
I feel the same way about live events because also, if you're not in the private box and you're sitting in one of those metal chairs, even if you have great seats, front row seats, floor seats, you are sitting in a metal chair for like 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah. And people like, there's not a lot of space in between. You're kind of up on each other and I never want to leave. Like I will never go pee unless I'm dying. I don't think I've ever left to go pee during a wrestling event because
No,
like it's not worth it. You miss
straight
stuff.
up,
You have
straight
to
up, it's
go.
like it's like sitting in the center seat of the biggest airplane in the universe, where if you have to get out, you have to cross asses with like
Yes.
17 people, and you're here to watch wrestling anyway. So,
And
Diana, you and I both have the same, like, we try not to drink water, we don't want to
yes,
leave,
I,
we're
I
wearing
drink the
complicated
smallest
outfits.
amount to not die from the weed I've had, but like just a little bit because I
I
do not
learned
want to go pee.
Yeah, I learned from my grandma. You put a bunch of Werther's Originals in your bag, and if you get thirsty, you just have a hard candy. That way you don't have to leave the death match, the 12-man
Wait,
tag match.
hold up real quick. I have like these very special like mouth-watering mints, but Werther's works too.
Of course. That's why
What?
old ladies carry those around in their bag.
For dry mouth? I didn't know that.
Exactly.
What?
Yes. No, that's all the old people with their hard candies. Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay, new tip. Anyway, fill us
Yeah.
in on 0 hour because I'm not privy to this yet.
Yeah, this was the 0 hour of the podcast here. So, the Bang Bang Scissor Gang, you know I loved it. It was Jay Lethal, Jeff Jarrett, Willie Mack, Private Party, Isaiah Cassidy, Mark Quinn. It was like fucking everyone. And my favorite part of Private Party is they come out dancing like strippers, and then anybody with them is like the awkward, I've never done this before, and it's amateur night stripper. And so they're like watching the guys like grind on the ground, and meanwhile other dudes are kind of like Willie Mack is kind of just doing the two-step. um
Aw,
Jeff
that
Jarrett looked
that seems
like,
worth watching.
oh yeah, he was trying, but Jeff Jarrett looked like he was going for sexy Colonel Sanders.
I feel like that's always his look.
I mean, since he like turned the clock of time, yeah.
Yes, that's his AEW look.
Yeah, his AEW look is sexy Colonel Sanders, but ultimately there was a lot of action. Okay, Satnam Singh is a fucking giant.
Yes.
Like Daddy Ass was in and out of the ring. Satnam Singh was supposed to stay outside the ring, but he's a giant. So it was like a lot of action, and ultimately, in suspending our disbelief of physics, Jay White pinned Willie Mack. And I mean, look, it was fun, but does physics even work that way?
No idea, but if you had fun, that's what matters.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, okay, Max Caster fucked up his rap again.
Again? No way.
Yes, again. So now I'm thinking this must be on purpose or they're cutting his mic. Do you think they're cutting his mic halfway through the rap?
I can't imagine they would.
I mean, maybe to sabotage him and publicly humiliate him and make him look bad in front of everybody, maybe.
Maybe, or maybe he just fucked up. Who knows?
Maybe, dude, he is so bad. I gotta warn you, Diana, we were asked by one of our big Twitter fans to do a rap instead of a promo at the end of this podcast.
Oh Lord.
Well, you know I came with it, so I'm
All right,
warning you
well,
now.
You can do it, and I can do the very white non-rappy version.
Well, you'll cut my mic when I fuck it up.
Okay,
right?
yes, I'll cut it.
I'm gonna skip the Orange Cassidy vignette because you know what that shit is. But were you there for Julia Hart and Sky Blue versus Chris Statlander and Willow Nightingale?
So as I was sitting down, they were finishing up.
Okay, so you saw Willow Nightingale get the pin.
Yes.
And it was a really good technical match. Like, it was what I would call a old school Greco-Roman technical wrestling match, if I wanted to sound smarky about it. But it was good though.
Yeah, I mean, it looked good. They're always bringing like their best, I feel, and then especially for a pay-per-view, it just seemed like the energy was just amazing.
The energy was amazing. The outfits were amazing.
Of
I feel
course.
like everybody hit their
Everybody brought
spots.
outfits this time. Like
Uh,
they definitely wanted to look their best. They're all
fuck
vying
yeah.
for the Ric Flair award.
Oh yeah, they knew. They listened to the podcast and they're like, "Shit, we didn't bring it hard enough. We need that Ric Flair award." And so it was what you would expect. Again, physics. Willow planted Sky Blue with the Dr. Bomb, and so it was, pretty. It was predictable, but still a good match.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
No. But then, all right, this is where the night started to heat up for me. The TNT Championship match with Christian Cage, Nick Wayne, Mother Wayne,
Okay.
Killswitch, and Daniel
Now
Garcia.
we're getting into the main show, right? This is
Yes.
where it started, which I couldn't believe Christian Cage was opening match, but okay.
I mean, they always bring it with a banger of an opener.
Yeah, but
And
even in the pay-per-view, like you got to build us up. But honestly, what would you have started with? Like it was all fucking bangers, so might
yeah,
as well.
it's like, what can you bring that is going to be equal to Sting? You don't want a bunch of throwaway jobber matches. Oh, and then it's Sting's last match. Like,
True.
I feel like everybody knew that like Daddy is watching and this is like his big party and none of us are going to screw it up, right?
Oh, it definitely felt like that. Like everybody's on their best the whole
Yeah.
night.
I pay attention to botches. I see it when someone drops someone like right on their neck, and everybody was doing real strong wrestling, like
Heck yeah.
real. I don't want to embarrass myself in front of Sting. Yeah.
Love that.
But Christian Cage, he did pin Daniel Garcia. But it was still a good match, and Daniel Garcia danced and fought for his little life.
He really did. He had a great moment that I took video of where he was just thrusting his ass off in fucking Christian's face up against
Oh
the
yeah,
up
I
against
mean,
the rope. It was fucking great.
yeah, that was the most like face fuck wrestling move
Yes.
I've ever seen. It was so disrespectful to the patriarch, and as someone who hates the patriarchy, I was with it.
It was so good. The whole match was so good. I'm still a little sad it wasn't Adam Copeland, but I feel like they kind of helped us forget about that. Like it was a solid fucking match, and I do love Daniel Garcia, so it was good to see him.
It was nice to see something new. Sometimes you're tired of hearing your same uncles have the same fight about that thing that happened back in the 70s. And so watching like Daniel Garcia also get his chance to shine, even though he didn't get the win, we know just being in the match is an honor, right?
I mean, he definitely got his moment to shine, that's for sure.
Fuck yeah, he did. I mean, it was entertaining. This was one where I didn't want to go to the bathroom and I was at my own house. I didn't even have to go across like 16 people in the front row.
And
But
up the stairs and through the line.
and in high heels.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's a lot. And if you've started partying, if you will, partaking,
Uh-huh.
then it's extra hard.
That's true. Even in your own home, if you are
Yes.
partaking too heartily, getting to and from the bathroom can be hard. But luckily, the next match was my bathroom match. Eddie Kingston versus the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson.
Really? This is a good match too.
It was good, but again, I've seen it before. Eddie Kingston, I was told he's been working out and dieting, but I'm not sure about that. The crowd chanted he's a bum. I heard that shit.
Yeah, but I think he embraces that. I think that's his persona. I did see a sign that said, Brian is a bum.
Ah! Well, at least he listens to the podcast and got my notes that he needs to be more dragony. If you want your gimmick to be the American Dragon, so his jacket had like cool dragon scales, and I was like, oh, he got my note.
I didn't even think about that. That's amazing.
Yes, well, I'm, of course, the puppeteer of all the things. So,
I feel like everybody is on the roster is just sitting, waiting for advice.
Oh, well, Mistress Harley is here. I give it for free on the podcast, but it's only $10 a minute at mistressharley.com. All right, but
Bargain.
yeah, back to the wrestling though. Okay, so Daniel Bryan is a smaller man. Eddie Kingston is the larger man. So, again, like there's a certain physics to the thing, but like there was also some dirty pool, right? Some like eye gouges and
For
uh
sure. I
boots
feel
to
like
the
you can
face.
overcome physics by talent, skills. So I don't think it's always just, you know, logic that
Are you
matters.
saying that size doesn't always matter?
I am definitely saying
It's
that.
true. It's true. And that's what makes for great wrestling moments. Like, I always reference when Hulk Hogan picked up Andre the Giant.
Yep.
That
First thing
was
I thought of.
a huge moment. Yes, and we've had moments like that at AEW too. So,
For
you just
sure.
you just have to impress me. Mistress Harley just likes to be
It
impressed.
can be done. You just got to work harder, which, applies to a lot of things.
That's right. You get it, Diana. You
I
get it.
do.
Yeah. So even though Kingston pinned Danielson, they did shake hands after the match. It was so cute. They
It
have
was.
respect.
Yay, respect.
Did the crowd go wild for respect or the pin more?
I think respect. Because they love
Okay.
both, So like it was kind of a mixed crowd. So, but like everybody cheers for sportsmanship.
That's true. Unless you're in one of those shitty states, like, I don't know, what's the place Johnny's always complaining about? Sacramento.
Is it? Because that's
No,
just California.
I know. I'm teasing. I've already forgotten Johnny's grudge.
Appleton, Wisconsin.
Oh, yeah. So, unlike Appleton, the good people of Appleton, I really like closing that circle. So, but fuck Appleton. The next
I
match.
still love Appleton.
Okay, but the next match, All-Star 8-man scramble
Yes.
match. Okay, we had Hook, Brian Cage, Dante Martin, the Ocho Chris Jericho, Murder
Woo.
Hawk Monster, Lance Archer, Magnus versus Powerhouse Hobbs and Wardlow. So two, so large men, small men, dancing men, bejacketed men, luchadors, sons of Taz, a guy who doesn't have a gimmick almost ever. You know who I'm talking about.
No, which one?
I've complained about Brian Cage, the Machine.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Well, he's
come
a
out riding
machine.
a
That's his
machine.
gimmick.
No, come out with an exoskeleton like Ripley in Aliens or something. They have to have something. A pocket watch? Any machine?
All right. Well, I do like Brian Cage, and this whole match was amazing. Like, it was supposed to be the meaty meat match or whatever. I can't remember what they were
Yeah.
calling it. Mega
I
meat.
I
Something
heard
like
meat
that.
match. I heard meat. The crowd meat.
Yeah. So we were expecting the meat match, but there were some injuries, so they had to switch it up. So we got the scramble instead. But every time the meaty guys came out, we definitely chanted meat, meat, meat. There's lots of
Yes.
meat chants.
And Taz was on commentary, which I like Dad to be on commentary when Hook is in the ring. That's always fun. And there was Adam Cole in a wheelchair and ROH tag champs accompanied Wardlow to the ring because for some reason a big fucking guy needs like 4 other guys with him all the time.
He needs guidance.
I mean, fuck Wardlow. After the end of this match, in which Wardlow clobbered Dante Martin with a powerbomb, like, do you still like him? Didn't he just steal the action from better wrestlers like Chris Jericho and Brian Cage and Powerhouse Hobbs?
So it's true, but like anything can happen in any one match. I know there were some injuries. I know like a lot of stuff didn't work out the way everything was supposed to go. That's all I'll say on that. Um, but so Wardlow got the better of him this time. It's okay. I'm down with that. Give him his moment. That's fine.
I have to say, Dante Martin, when he gets things right, when he gets his spots right, he's incredible. And when he gets them wrong, it's like watching a ballerina trip and almost fall on her face, where she didn't fall, but you know she almost did.
Yeah.
You saw Dante get his foot caught on a rope once or twice.
Yeah,
Like,
some things definitely went wrong.
yeah, I loved the spot where Jericho jumped over the ring post into Powerhouse Hobbs onto the arena floor. I was like,
Ooh,
yes,
yes.
talk about talent over size, right? But then you got Hook on the top rope flying and running into Cage on the floor. Like there was so much inside, outside the ring.
There was an awful lot going on, that's for sure. It was super, super entertaining. So I didn't feel bad that we missed out on the meat match. I think we got a fucking great match to replace it.
Did you get any impacts or near impacts in your zone on the floor? Like, did you feel anyone crash into the divider? Was there
Um,
sweat?
I feel like we must have, but it happened so much that I kind of couldn't tell you. The only one I remember for sure was the first one when Daniel Garcia was like crashed right in front of us,
Oh
and
yeah.
because he messed the like what are those things, like the protection things, I don't know, the things they put on to make it soft so
Oh,
it's not
the
just all
the
metal.
turnbuckle, the
Is it a
padding on the
turnbuckle? The
turnbuckle.
padding for sure. So the padding, I didn't know if it's turnbuckle on the railing for the audience, but whatever. The padding. So it was up for a while.
Yes.
People were like, "Can you guys fix that?" So I just had to like fix it myself. So I remember that because we were like, "No one's gonna fix that." We went through like 3 matches. I'm like, "Okay, someone needs to take control and fix this." So yes, to answer your
Yes.
question in a long drawn out way, there was lots of bumping into us the whole night, which is great. That's why we're there. That's why we sit close.
Hell yeah. It's like being in the splash zone, the stinger zone, the impact zone. It feels like you're in a car
Exactly.
crash all night, but like a safe one.
Who got thrown over? Oh yeah. One of the young bucks got thrown over like literally into this dude that was at the end of the road
Yes.
of the row, and he was just so excited. Like it was just like couldn't believe it because he stood over there for a while too before he got back into the match. And he was
Yeah.
just like, like, it made his life,
Oh yeah, he was there. He wanted it.
He was
Absolutely.
so excited. I got footage of him, but I didn't know if it was rude to post it without asking. But I was like, he was just so excited. I had to film him.
No, if you're at a public event, it's all game. Like
Yeah.
I filmed people walking right into public fountains or
Oh
falling
no.
right on the pavement and I laugh and I laugh. Those are my private moments.
Aw,
Um okay,
that is
but
not
also
me.
I just a sadist. But speaking of sadism, okay, Jericho smashed the liquid fog machine and like
Yes.
he broke that fog machine, right?
I know that it was having a lot of issues. So I think he was just tired of that fucker. Right?
No,
So
it was awesome. I was
it
watching
worked.
it.
It worked awesome in the bits, but I think he was over it and wanted to die. So
Oh, sure, sure. But for those of us at home, I'm watching the fog pour into the stadium. I'm listening to Taz and the other commentators start to like cough about it. And they're like, I don't know if it's supposed to be doing that. And I'm starting to suspect, like, oh shit, that shit is like broken, like a car that won't stop. Like,
I feel like your
fun.
suspicion's right.
Yes. How
But
fun.
it did its job. So
Yes, and of course, Jericho, do you know where he gets his jackets made? Because
I
he's
do actually. He mentions it on his Instagram if you want to know, but it's this really cool chick in the UK. So she
oh.
custom makes like all his stuff like that. So you can definitely reach out to her and get your own stuff made.
I want my own Jericho jacket. I saw Renee Young wearing like I couldn't tell if it was a Jericho or Sting homage jacket. At this point, like there's a lot of crossover, but I felt like the jackets were great tonight. But Jericho always has like some fly dope ass jacket,
Yes.
and he's always the best dressed of the dudes, unless Ric Flair is there and it's the '70s. I don't know.
Yeah, he's amazing rock star style, and it's almost all through that chick who's really cool. So
Love it, love it. She's gonna get like several annoying emails from me.
yay! Oh,
Um,
she'll love it. Oh, I can't wait to see what you get made from her.
something busty.
Hell
So,
yeah.
speaking of busty, no, it doesn't work at all. But our next match, Orange Cassidy versus Roderick Strong. Finally, Orange Cassidy could
Oh
not keep
no, I
the
forgot
belt
about this.
any longer. He could not.
I'm traumatized. I literally had blocked this out because it was so sad.
No, Tony Khan listens to the podcast and he understood the completely valid, reasonable, and logical comments I made about how long a championship should be held.
But I can't picture Orange Cassidy anymore coming out without the belt. Like, I'm so used to it. He's gonna look naked
I
in a
mean, he's
bad
always just
way.
got his hands in his pockets anyway.
But he's
It's
got
not.
his little, bag, and he takes it out, and I don't know, it's a whole thing, and
It's a
and he holds
belt.
it
He should
up.
wear the belt. If a king came out with his crown in a bag, would you respect the king? No.
I mean, it doesn't fit on his jeans. It's okay.
I mean, if I had a wrestling championship belt that I earned through blood and sweat and the defeat of other human beings, I would wear that shit whether it held up my pants or not.
Well, anyway, we can all mourn the loss of Orange Cassidy.
We can all
now.
agree that Orange Cassidy was a big loser. And
What? No, we cannot agree on that.
no, by the definition of losses, Diana.
A big loser, though? No, he was a modest loser at best.
This was the pay-per-view. This was Sting's retirement. This was Sting's last match. He was the biggest fucking loser.
How dare you? No, it was a great match. So, he wins by trying his best.
He lost the championship belt.
He'll get it back. It belongs with him.
Okay, well, until he gets it back, he is a loser. Today is day 2 of Orange Cassidy's loser
my
reign.
gosh. And how long did he have it? Which means he was like the winner of winners for what? 3
Too
decades,
long.
it felt like.
Like 300 and something days. Too long.
Are you serious? Wow, that is long.
He lost it for like a minute and a half and then got it back. And so, yeah. Like, finally, I'm just counting the days of loserdom of Orange Cassidy. Everybody, today is day 2.
Wow.
So, yes. Next, we get
That's
Blackpool
just
Combat
evil.
Club. Yes, well,
Speaking
I
of
am
evil.
evil. You know I'm evil, girl. That's why I bite you in the neck while you sleep and drain your blood.
I
So-
mean, I'm okay with that.
I know you are. So Blackpool Combat Club, Claudio and John Moxley versus FTR's Cash Wheeler and Dax Hardwood permanently, forever. The fans seemed to love this one. Like, this was the most old school wrestling match. This one was for all the guys who were like, I want like the old school Greco-Roman
Yep.
style.
Plus, FTR, I think, is North Carolina based, right? Like, that's where they're from.
Oh, you would know better than I,
I'm
Lord Diana.
pretty sure. So I think they got an extra pop for, like, being North Carolina boys.
Yes, I don't know if you listeners caught this on the last episode, but we had to explain to Brendan that FTR was doing an old-timey wrestling gimmick because he was like, why don't they do more old-timey wrestling gimmicks?
Yeah. Well, Brendan's point is supposed to be learning about wrestling, so we taught him a thing.
Yeah, we're teaching him with the stick. So, I mean, it was a really, a ring classic, a mat classic. It was almost like a 20-minute match, at least it felt like. But ultimately, Moxley got Dax into the submission and put him to sleep. Like the match put many of us to sleep.
This would be, I mean, obviously I'm biased, but this was my probably least favorite match of the night for sure.
Look,
It's
they
just
can't,
more of the same old with them,
they can't all be bangers. They just can't.
I mean, if this was just a regular match, not on this particular pay-per-view, it would be a banger. It was still a good match, but comparatively to everything else, it kind of felt it was a down moment.
You're right. No, it was like the prettiest girl from a small town went to the big city and now she's not the prettiest girl anymore.
Oh my God, exactly like that.
Yeah.
You aren't the prettiest girl, Claudio.
Or FTR with your big manly mustaches. No.
I mean, they're close with those, but
I mean, they're retro mustaches. In the modern day, they say, like, find me at the Abbey in WeHo, which is a gay joke for those of you who don't know WeHo.
I
but
would
yeah.
say that, like, my say something nice of this would be that Claudia and Mox, when they came out, they had like Road Warrior tribute outfits on, and
They
those
did.
looked good. That looked nice. Whatever.
They really tried. They really did.
I mean, they tried for their outfit.
I wish someone would give Moxley like a map to the ring. I want to see a backstage where, I'm sorry, I know I'm mixing universes here, but I want R-Truth to be showing John Moxley on a map how to get to the ring. Like, that would make me laugh.
I feel like somebody needs to do that. That would be such a funny bit. But also, I would say I noticed, because Mox was right in front of me a lot, he seems like he's lost a lot of weight.
He did seem like he's dropped some weight. Everybody looked like they dropped weight for this pay-per-view except Eddie Kingston. Everybody was like, I'm going to get real fit, but not Eddie Kingston.
And he's like, it's my thing.
Hey, the king of the bums has to eat at the Yum Yum Donuts, you know? Like,
Damn
what do you
right.
do?
Whatever. It's
But you're right. Everyone was toned and tanned.
good for them.
Everyone was tanned except
Everyone was pretty.
everyone was pretty, but timeless Toni Storm was not tanned. She was still perfectly black and white. And she had her match with the virtuosa Deonna Purrazzo, whose name I've finally realized how to pronounce.
Good for you.
Yes.
I'm proud.
And so, Toni won, but with interference from Mariah May, her current lady simp. How did you feel about this match?
If I'm being honest, it was a little bit of a letdown after such a build-up. Not that it wasn't great and fun. It was just, it felt kind of similar to FTR, where like any other night would be, a really good match, but that's just not enough for this pay-per-view.
I agree. I feel like it was more story building, character building with Mariah May.
Yes.
And
It definitely had that feel for sure.
I want someone else for Toni Storm to fight. And there are other women on this roster. I've just kind of seen these same ladies too many times.
Yeah, it definitely felt like we've seen it before and nothing super new happened, but I did like Mariah May coming out in Toni Storm's old gear. That was
Yes.
cute.
Yeah.
She got me for a second. I'm like, oh man, she changed back. I'm like, oh, never mind.
Yeah, they got me too. That got me too. So we were both probably laughing at ourselves at the same time, which is also part of wrestling.
It was super fun though, and Tony's always amazing, and like it's entertaining to watch. It just, back to back with FTR, it was like the slower point of the night.
I agree. But ladies, it wasn't because you didn't try hard. It was just a hard night to measure up to all the excitement, all the everything. So we still love you guys.
We definitely love you.
We want more bookings, different bookings.
Like, yeah, we do.
Do only 3 strippers work at this club? Like,
exactly.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stage.
I definitely feel like they need to mix it up, and I'm hoping after this they will. I think it was just a quick way for us all to care about Deonna. Oh no, now I forgot how to say her name.
Purrazzo.
There you go. So like she debuted, and she instantly had the storyline with Tony, so we instantly became invested versus like a slow get to know you kind of thing,
Agree. So they're still carrying on, moving forward, sallying forth, but this one did feel like it wasn't the main event, and we all know what the main event was. But
we're getting there.
Yeah, we're getting there. But speaking of mixing it up and having, ladies and gentlemen, welcome your new dancer to the stage, Will Osprey.
Okay, this is where it kicked into insane gear. Like we had our breathing moments, but then this shit came out and fuck me for the rest of the night. It was just bonkers. Will Osprey, fuck off. He's fucking amazing. And Takesha is amazing. So both of them together, this match was just fucking beyond 5 stars. It was so good.
Agree. Like, Osprey has been a star at New Japan for years and years and years. I became aware of him when his match with Ricochet, who's now at the WWE, went viral. And this was like 5, 6, 7 years ago, maybe. And these guys are like 2 Spider-Mans pointing at each other, meaning like they have the same move set. They both have that same athletic, acrobatic. They're like luchadors who are not from Mexico. And they're incredible, really. Like, and Takeshita too. He's got like the dance moves down, and so this match I could see the crowd going wild. I was popping off. Like, no one had a breathing chance in this match at all, right?
For sure. And we were all so excited to be there for, I think, like his first it's his first match as officially in AEW, right?
Yes, and both members of the Don Callis family. So Don Callis was like, had a shit-eating grin the whole time. I mean,
well, we can ignore that. Fuck him.
Yeah, I mean, didn't we
don't
rate
want him to be happy.
No, we rated him in baby dirty baby diapers once.
That's so fitting for him. But the crowd just went nuts. The second he went out there, it was like Osprey chants out the ass.
Yes, and having Will Osprey on an American promotion so we don't all have to get Fight TV and watch New Japan, that is a benefit. That's a value add to us. You know, we in the wrestling world, we know when there are superstars that don't work on the show that we watch 2 or 3 times a week. We know when there's like a rogue samurai doing like legendary shit out there and they're not on the show we watch. You know, it's like people want all the same superheroes they like in the same movie. They want Spider-Man and Iron Man and fucking everybody to be there, right? And
Oh
that's
my
how
God,
wrestling is too.
exactly. It's like, DC Marvel crossover we're always hoping for.
Oh my God, yes. I mean, it'll never happen because of the billionaires involved, but isn't that the dream, right?
And I still bet one day they'll get desperate and make it happen. But anyway.
One day Charles Xavier will kill Batman.
Oh my God,
Yes.
can you imagine? Oh, Lord. Nerdgasm. Woo.
Yes, my favorite was always Rogue though because of how she can steal everybody else's superpowers. And
Nice.
I was always hoping in the movies they'd do the storyline where she absorbs Miss Marvel's powers, kills Miss Marvel, and becomes Miss Marvel, but they never did that. Anyway, aside, so back to Osprey and Takeshita. Like they did every spot that spots could spot, and I know some people don't like that. I fucking loved it. It was
I
my
fucking loved it too. It was fucking nonstop,
yeah,
amazing action.
my favorite singles match of the night. I will say that like one of my complaints about like the 8-man match, the 6-man match, it's like a wedding where you don't get to talk to everybody. Like you don't even
Oh my
get to
God.
sit down and eat dinner.
Totally. Because I do feel like that. I feel like, there's like more I wanted to see from all of them. It was kind of just like a tasting menu kind of thing.
It totally was like, here is your amuse-bouche of a little bit of Chris Jericho, and you get a tiny soup of Christian the Machine, you know?
No, completely. Literally that's like it was a fun match, but I did feel like I wanted more from it just because we didn't get time with everyone.
Agree.
I mean,
Again,
we
just
did, but not enough.
no, it's like a wedding. You shake everybody's hand, and then
Hmm.
afterwards, you're like, oh, we should just have like dinner with just that one person. Yeah.
Exactly. So I'm hoping that actually that match leads to, other things. We can see them separately, like Hook versus Jericho. That would be cute.
Ooh.
Stuff like that, right? So like
Yeah.
I feel like maybe little spin-offs will happen from that match. That's what I'm hoping, but we'll
Yeah,
see.
me too. I
But
mean,
this one,
mm-hmm.
this was the full meal.
Oh yeah, Osprey and Takeshita. I definitely was I'm spoiling it, but my throwdown, my single man throwdown for this, this episode, this pay-per-view. But then fuck singles matches. The AEW World Championship match, Samoa Joe, Hangman Adam Page.
Wait,
What?
hold on. Before we move on, we have to acknowledge that little bow of respect at the
Oh
end of the
yes.
match. It was
There
so
was.
cute.
There was. Well, because they were both at New Japan, right?
Right.
They both
So they did the little New Japan bow, or it was just fucking. It was touching as an
It
audience
was.
member.
No, these men have obviously danced together before. They like it and they're good at it, you know?
And they respect each other as they should. They're both fucking phenomenal.
Yes, you're right. And I'm glad we acknowledged that. But now into a match with
Now we
no
may move on.
respect. No respect. Samoa Joe, Hangman Adam Page, Swerve Strickland. I mean, there was so much going on, so much meat. I thought Samoa Joe was having a heart attack at one point.
There were times when he was just over it. Like there was a moment where he just like moved out of the way and like shrugged.
Right, I thought the ref was dead at one point.
Yes. Oh my God. Right. That was Hangman, right? Beat the shit out of the ref, right?
Yes.
Fuck. Yeah. There was a lot going on in this.
Yeah, I mean, Paul Turner was just face down on the
Good.
floor
You
for long.
deserve it.
Yeah, long enough that I was sitting like, is this a spot or is the ref dead? Would
Well,
anyone know?
stay and do your job. Like he's costing people fucking matches. I'd be mad too.
Yeah, that's the problem, right? It's when you don't have a good ref. You need to get Audrey back in there.
And we were chanting Aubrey for that.
Yes.
Aubrey.
Aubrey. Yes.
Yes, we wanted her.
And so, I mean, Samoa Joe retained. He won.
Okay. Shock. Honestly, shock from all of us. I never did I consider that as a possibility.
I mean, it's hard to take the belt from Joe if he don't want to give it to you.
But fucking Swerve, like everything pointed to it was his time. And then I really liked the theory we came up with last episode where maybe they were gonna fuck with us and let
Mhm.
Hangman get it. And then, we're so pissed until Swerve gets it from Hangman. But nah, it's just after this whole buildup, Samoa Joe just keeps it. Like,
But
all
Joe won
right.
it. But Joe won it on Hangman. And so Swerve is not going to stand for that. Like, Swerve is still not defeated. Swerve still didn't get his shot. And so, I mean, if there's any justice, Tony Khan, then there will be a Swerve Joe singles match.
Well, that's definitely gonna happen.
I do know because
I
of
just
my
wanted it
psychic
last
powers.
night. I feel like, I'm wondering if they thought like a title change right before Stings would take like some of the shine away from it or something. Maybe.
Maybe, because they already took the belt off Cassidy. But, I know you didn't hear the commentary because you were at the show, but Excalibur asked, he said, did Hangman tap out because he was trying to actually not die, or was he just trying to deny Swerve his opportunity to win?
Interesting.
Like
That
taking
actually
the
makes
fall.
a lot of sense because I was like, no fucking way he tapped out. But that makes sense. Just anybody but Swerve.
Right, like this is my spite tap out. I will
Love
tap out
that,
in this match
actually.
just to spite you.
That's a really good theory. I'm going with that.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't usually praise Excalibur on the commentary, but that was one. You get one Excalibur.
Good job.
Oh man, but see, we've already got 45 minutes in to talk about this pay-per-view, and only now have we arrived at the icon, the legend, Sting's last match.
It's Sting.
Sting. Yes, every time. And also the Young Bucks were there. But
Yeah. Okay, let me
Darby,
tell you, the seats this time were Sting and the Young Bucks. Well, Sting and Darby and the Young Bucks. And I did not keep my chair because I'm like, eh.
nah,
I
you
gave it
didn't.
away to a more like needy person who like would appreciate it. I'm like, I don't want a Young Bucks chair.
Oh, you know what? It's true. I have a WWE Raw chair that has some unsavory people on it, but I can't part with it because I was there. Jericho put me on the list. Bob Backlund was there.
I mean, it was a great moment for you, but now when I travel, like I have to be selective about which chairs are worth bringing back. And Sting was, but just he was equal with the Bucks in that. I'm like, you're gonna appreciate this more than me, sir. You can have my chair.
Okay, I would have kept the chair, but like a cover-up tattoo, I would have painted over the Young Bucks with like
Aw.
other wrestlers I liked.
I'm not that artsy. But anyway, let's talk about the match.
Okay, so Sting's final match. Nature Boy Ric Flair, of course, was there. And then fucking Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, like another wrestling legend.
Who saw that coming? No one.
No. And for those of us that like went back and watched all the old stuff that was cool before we were born, it was like, oh my God, you found that guy? That guy's here? Awesome.
Aw.
It was really cool. And so it felt like all the Stings in the audience were there with Sting. It was like every Sting from every time. The fans were losing it. Thank you, Sting, the whole time.
Dude, it was nuts. It was like the most emotional thing. All the wrestlers were watching. Like everybody's just united in this moment.
Yes. And there were tables, there were ladders, there were
Yes.
chairs.
There was
Dude,
glass.
did you there was glass? You told me a baby was baptized in glass? So that's
I
wrestling.
think the baby was okay, but I was very concerned.
No, it's perfect for the baby. But did you get to see that cut Darby Allin got on his shoulder?
I saw the one he got everywhere. Like his whole back was fucked.
Yeah,
Like,
his
what-
whole back was fucked, but there was one cut that he got like 12 stitches in, and I swear to God, you could see the bone.
Oh my God, no, I did not see that. I just know it seemed like he died at some point.
I
Like,
think there was a
where
point
did
where
he go?
Darby said to himself, he was like, if I die at Sting's last match, they will never forget my name.
That's
and
true.
He
He
went
said
through
something
those
like that at
tables.
the end. He said, and tell me what you guys saw and what you didn't, because I've heard a lot of people complaining that they cut off Sting's speech.
They did. They did. The last thing I heard him say was he had to get new shoes, and then they cut it.
Oh no! Did you hear Darby making the "I was gonna die" reference?
No.
So he said something along the lines of like, "I said I was gonna die in your match, but I'm still breathing," or something like that. So even he thought that.
I mean, it sure the fuck looked like it. It looked like he gave his all and was surprised he was still alive, and it was like
We all were.
yeah, it was
They sent him
sweet.
off. Like Sting told him, "Go get stitches and text me how many you got this time."
Yes. No, I like nothing more than when men sacrifice their bodies and bleed for my pleasure. So, Darby Allin, I kind of felt like, yeah, Sting is passing him the torch. But this match showed me why.
You didn't see it until now?
No, not until I could
Wow.
see his human bones.
Wow, it takes a lot to impress you.
It does. Well, and Sting's had 40 years. Darby Allin's had like 40 days,
Yeah,
comparatively.
but he's always this hardcore. Like I'm sure we must have seen his bones before.
Yeah, but I've seen New Jack kill a guy. So, it does take a lot.
Okay, fair.
Yeah. I mean, he testified in court that guy asked him to be stabbed. New Jack
Wow.
said that guy asked me to stab him.
Did y'all see when Tony Khan came out at the end?
No, they cut off at Sting needs new shoes. What did Tony
I'm just
say?
trying to remember like what the order was. It was all just kind of sweet, so I didn't really record it. I'm sure other people did. It was just a lot of like, "I'm so grateful for you guys," and blah blah blah. But Tony Khan came out crying. He was such a little fanboy nerd. He was just like, "I can't believe this is happening." That was sweet.
That's awesome. I have really enjoyed Tony Khan's "I'm so grateful for you," the audience speeches at the live shows.
Me
And I feel
too.
like they should show them more on TV because wrestling audiences, we can be especially jaded. Look, after like 80 years of McMahons, we're pretty jaded about the whole industry. And so for a young billionaire to come out and be so emotional and be like, "I just love you guys and I love
And it's
Sting."
fucking sincere. You can tell. Like he is so just a fanboy living out his dream, and he's so happy to be here, and he is so happy to be working with Sting and retiring with him and stuff. Like I'm happy for him.
I love that shit. That's what money is for. Like,
Yeah, do
drugs are
good
for
with it.
doing, money is for spending, alcohol's for drinking, whatever, man. Like, what's the point of having money if you can't live your dreams? So,
Yeah.
I don't care how much of a smark or whatever. Like, enjoy it. Like, yeah, make your own fucking birthday party and invite all your favorite people.
That's what he's doing. Good
Fuck
for him.
yeah. Hey, I invited you to WrestleMania, and now you have to be my friend. Ha ha.
Yay, of course.
So, I mean, that was the show. That was a hell of a fucking show. I can't believe Brendan and Johnny don't even like wrestling.
I know. Why do you guys hate wrestling, fellow co-hosts?
Yeah, other co-hosts of our
There
show.
you go.
Yeah. So should we rate this episode in like legends?
It's gotta be Sting related for sure.
Yeah, okay, in stings.
Okay, it stings because there's so many stings.
Yes, I'm gonna give it 4 3/4 of a sting with only a tiny deduction for a couple of those slow bathroom matches because in the best case scenario, I would have to hold it for 4 hours.
I was gonna go 5, but you make a good point. I'm gonna have to do it 4 3/4 too because it did have the slow little bathroom matches. So, everything else is fucking beyond 5 stars all around, but just a tick down for the more like normal matches of the night.
Yeah, and you know what? Hey, dear Tony Khan, if you're listening, give us a nice 10-minute intermission for like a hot dog and a bathroom and a water.
Why don't they do that shit? Like, what? Please.
Like Gone with the Wind has an intermission. Shouldn't wrestling?
I know. What's that, like 3 hours? Like, come on.
Yeah. So, but ultimately, 100% worth watching. If you guys didn't see it, I think you can still buy the pay-per-view and watch it on the rerun.
Yeah, and I
So-
think they give you like a deal if it's, not live anymore. So
Hey,
worth
get the
it.
deal, losers. Yeah. All right. Our awards.
All right. Let me try to remember everything. Okay. let's just start with the John Holmes Biggest Dick of the Week award.
Oh.
Like, dang.
Oh, I wasn't prepared to start with Dick.
Okay, we'll start with Dick though. Who we fucking got, man? There are so many dicks in this.
I know, there was a lot of dicks. Like, so many dicks. I'm going to go with, I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know either.
There were a lot of big, flaccid
You know what?
dicks.
I'm gonna go in a silly way, and I'm gonna give it to Daniel Garcia because there are too many asshole dicks. But Daniel Garcia was thrusting his dick in Christian's face.
Ah!
So you know what? You get the Dick of the Week award, Daniel Garcia.
Yeah, and you know what? A positive dick. A
Yeah.
yay dick.
Sometimes it's good to be a dick.
You know, it's hard to satisfy two women on a wrestling podcast, Daniel Garcia, but for those of us with the biggest dick, you're like, yeah, that's great. I'm going to give it to Don Callis for existing and pitting two members of his own family against each other like you were bored at Thanksgiving dinner and brought up politics. What a dick.
Oh my God, literally. But yeah, there's so many like that, but I will definitely accept it. He's always a dick. It might as well be called the Don Callis Award.
Oh.
Okay, so we'll get to positivity. And who you got for the Dewey Riley Hero of the Week award?
Thank you, Sting. Thank you, Sting.
Sting.
Thank you,
Yes,
Sting.
Of course. Our fucking hero, Sting.
Sting.
Yeah, please.
And also, listeners, if you did not see Diana's Sting makeup on the Instas, on the X's, on the fucking whatevers, go look at her incredible Sting makeup.
Why, thank you. I will post it again on my Instagram, and I think we'll have some other videos coming from it and stuff.
Also,
but yay!
imagine the sexual confusion men will experience when looking at the Sting makeup and thinking of Sting, but then seeing like your sexy cleavagey body. Yes.
I feel like I was the only female Sting, though. I didn't see any other girls dressed as Sting. But
More lady Stings.
I know. I hope I just missed them, but I didn't run into any other lady Stings.
Yeah.
So who we got? Well, fuck. I mean, Freddie versus Jason match of the week.
It has to be Osprey Takeshita.
Oh, okay. I thought it just automatically had to go to Sting because of, it being his last. But if you're going just by the actual match, then yes.
Because it was a showdown, okay, like Sting's match was an epic match. It was his last match. It was so many great things, but I wouldn't call it like a showdown. It was a gratitude match.
Yeah, totally. And fuck, it takes a lot for the Young Bucks to win anything. So
yeah, fuck the Bucks.
But, oh my God, so many fuck the Bucks chants. Love that.
But what was your best match? Sting?
So I was gonna go Sting, but like you said, you made good points. And just from purely watching the match point of view, it's got to be Takeshita Osprey. They were fucking brilliant.
I love that I can convince you of things.
It's true though, because the match with Sting was good and all. It was lovely, but it was more his son's coming out dressed as him and all the theatrics afterwards. It was more about that.
It was a swan song. It was beautiful. It was a ballet. But showdown, yeah. But for the Ric Flair Fashion Award, do we have to give it
a lot?
Yeah, I mean, I want to give it to all the Stings in the audience.
I want a combo. I want to give it to all the Stings, but also Ready to Rumble dudes that were in there.
Yeah, Ready to Rumble dudes. All the cosplayers.
You popped me. Yes. Okay, let's just do that. Everybody that dressed up in cosplay to come to the show, you get my award. You guys are amazing. Even though the actual wrestlers themselves all brought it. They all looked amazing for the pay-per-view.
They absolutely all brought it. Fans. Yes, everybody except Eddie Kingston, who was here in his same sweatpants, and Orange Cassidy, who only owns the one sweatpants.
Stop. He was you know what? You would have liked him after. I saw him leaving, and he looked very, flashy, nice, nicely dressed. I'm like, I'm not used to that.
Oh, that's probably his disguise. It's how he gets
that makes sense.
Yeah, it's how he gets the fans to not hassle him. It's like, oh, that's not Orange Cassidy.
Much sense. I had to think about him huh?
Yeah.
Who's this fancy redhead?
That's right. Yeah, when I go out and I don't want my adoring fans to recognize me, I wear a Japanese kabuki mask and a trench coat. Yeah.
That's a hot look.
It is. You never know who's going to flash you on the train. Shit, was that all our awards?
We did it, man. We got
We
through the
did do it.
pay-per-view.
Yes, it was so incredible. We want to know what you, the fans, think. So, tweet at us, hashtag the fuck at us. Now, I did mention that we were asked instead of promos to prove that we were better than Max Caster by, I don't know, doing a little rap instead of a promo here at the end. So don't fast forward past this one because we are the awesome pod. That's AEW. We got Diana, Harley, and boys in the club. Other podcasts are just neckbeard schlubs. Unlike Max Caster, we spit rhymes for days. We got no guys named Daddy in the way. It's content you don't hear other girls say.
All right.
Hell yeah.
You're at least on Caster's level.
Oh yeah, I mean, no one cuts my mic at least.
I mean, we can't, but I don't have that power from here.
But what are you promoting this week, Diana?
I think we have to promote the season premiere of The Last Drive-In coming up on March 15th.
Ooh, fuck yeah. I watched the Walking Dead episode, the new Rick, The Ones Who Lived series, and it was so much better with you guys. Like, I like The Walking Dead, but it's better with friends, right?
Aw, thank you so much for watching. I think so.
Yes, it is better with friends. I would not give two shits about what Rick and Michonne are doing like 6 years later, but my friends are watching, so I will too.
Yay. Thank you.
Yes.
And what are you promoting?
What the fuck am I promoting? I'm on the Awesome Pod twice a week with my friends who are sometimes here with me. Diana, always here. Everybody else, I don't know them. You can find my books on Amazon. You can find my music streaming on Spotify, Pandora, and all the places music are. You can find videos of the podcast on YouTube, youtube.com/Mistress Harley. You can find me on Twitter at TechDom or my Safe for Work account that I forget I have at Mistress Harley T.
I know, I get confused every once in a while and send it there. I'm like, why is it not?
Doesn't matter.
People.
I own all of the accounts.
Nice. Okay, good to know.
Yeah, but we are the Awesome Pod and Namaste W.
Namaste AEW, baby.
Yeah, raggedy bitches. Mic drop.